What's going on, tubes? Fearless Front here. I got a special one today. This is the Ariens rotary mower attachment for the Ariens 10,000 series Sno-Thro. This will fit. Sno-Thro is built from around 1963 with the garden yard insignia on up to your Trak-team line from 1965 to 1974. This specific attachment, by the serial number, looking it up, it's a model 35-10M, serial number 04053, so 4053. When I looked it up on the Ariens website for the manual and the parts diagram, it comes up 1967. So this one was built in 1967. They started building these and putting these into use around 1964. So I believe they started making them in 1963 for the 1964 model year. This is the third one in. Okay, this is 50 years old. This rotary mower. I picked it up in right near Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm in Central Jersey. Got it for 75 bucks. With the drive there and the fuel, about 25 in gas. Got this sucker for 100 bucks. And for its age, it is in excellent condition. Honestly, I think it was barely ever even used. It is in such nice shape. The only thing I had to do to it was I resprayed the top cover because somebody had scribbled with permanent marker on there, Ariens attachment, and they had it spelled wrong. So I repainted the cover. I already loosened these bolts for the video. I'm going to show under here. It's a 9/16 bolt on top and 2 1/2-inch bolts on the side. Even with the cover off, that 9/16 bolt on top has to be on to keep the engagement arm tight. So let me just pop this cover off, show under here. Hang on 1 second. Okay, here it is. So the only thing I really had to do was I had to replace the belt. The belt was probably the original belt, 50 years old, and it was shot. So I went to AutoZone, got a belt for it for 12 bucks. I put these zip ties on the hole, so this way when you go to engage this and disengage this, the spring doesn't go moving too far, because this spring was stuck all the way on this side, and it was causing this thing to get stuck and not want to engage and disengage. So that's good now. Brakes, pads, pretty much still fully there. I mean, this thing was barely used, you could tell. That's disengaged, that's engaged. It says on here to engage the engine clutch first, which is on the tractor, okay? And then you engage this one. It's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heights. It's got solid caster wheels, made in USA. Everything on this is made in USA. This thing's about 100 pounds. Built solid, excellent, and it is in excellent condition. This thing was barely used, okay? So I oiled it up, greased it up, you know, washed it. Like I said, I resprayed the cover, and things in excellent condition. Added some ADW90 to the gear case, okay? One thing I did want to mention is they call this thing a sway plate under here, and this originally could be adjusted to push this whole unit forward or back even more to add even more or less tension to this, and it'll also help to make this thing flex. Someone a long time ago, probably the original owner, did some serious welding to this, and I looked, it's not broken under here. Okay, so my guess is where I picked this up, it was his son. It was a farm, there was a lot of inclines. My guess was he just didn't like it swaying, so he welded this solid on here so that this can never slide off. So you really can't adjust this, and it has a little less swaying, but good news is, even with that welded the way it is, this whole thing still flexes up and down, and it moves side to side. Alright, see that? Side to side, and this whole thing still moves up and down. So even with that one modification they did, it's still in like 100% perfect condition. I think, like I said, it's not damaged under there. The two bolts are still under here, as you can see. I don't see any damage to it at all. So my guess is he just didn't want it to sway as much as it did. And I mean, it's adjusted where the belt engages and disengages in all heights anyway. And if I wanted to, I could move this eyelet in or out even more, which will add even more or less tension to the belt, so that doesn't affect anything. Now, since this is for the 10,000 series line, and also your first series, the 63 and 64, it's got the cast iron collar, which meets the other cast iron collar on the Sno-Thro. Now, they also made these attachments for the 924,000 series, but on those they did away with the cast iron collar and they started using a big pulley. So you can't use this on the 924,000 series or later because they started using a pulley there. For the 10,000 series you can, because it has the cast iron collar, which goes to the tractor, which will attach to that. Now, I don't know if you can remove this and put the pulley on and make it work for the 10,000 series. Just like I don't know if the Ariens rotary attachment mower that was made for the 924,000 series can be switched back and have this cast iron collar put on to work on the 10,000 series. Not sure if you can do it or not. All I know is this one is specifically made for the machines built 1963, 64 through 1974. Once you go into the 924,000 series, this attachment will not work. Now, since this is one of the earlier ones, this is the 35-10M and not the model 91011, the anti-scalp bars are a little bit shorter, okay, on both sides. That was one difference. There was a few differences on the older model that they changed on the slightly newer ones. Now, if anybody who sees this video, I am interested in the mulching plate for this. Okay, that was an accessory you could buy. Okay, the guy didn't have it. Anybody watching this video, same thing. Also, the deflector, the deflector extension. If anybody has the deflector extension or the mulching plate for this and they want to sell it, let me know. Get in touch with me. I'll buy it. I'll pay the shipping. Okay, it's really easy if you haven't done it before. Shipping, it's pretty cheap. I'll pay for the shipping. I'll pay for the mulching plate. If I don't find one, I probably will just have a mulching plate fabricated at some point if I need to. They also did make a bagger for this. I don't really need the bagger as bad, but if someone out there does have the bagger for this mower attachment, I would be interested in buying that as well. So if anybody out there has any of those attachments and they are looking to sell them, please get in touch with me. Leave a comment on my on the video down below. Now, I haven't put this on the tractor yet. I'm gonna do that in a little while. So there will be a part 2 to this video, so stay tuned for that. And I'm going to show how well it cuts. And I'm probably going to hang on to it for a while. I may sell this someday in the future, but folks, please don't ask if I'm selling this. If I do decide to sell it ever, you know, I'll let you know. I'll let people know then. At this time, I'm holding on to this because these things are very rare to come by. I have two Ariens 1971 Ariens Sno-Thros. I've got the 32 wide bucket, the 24 wide bucket, and now I have the rotary mower. So technically I have 3 attachments now. And these are really hard to come by. I would also be interested in the reel mower, the sulky. The sit-down one, you know, I'm not that interested in. I am more interested in a stand-up sulky if it was ever made, or if anybody has one or knows. I might try to have one of those fabricated as well, so I can have a stand-up sulky for it. But also the wheelbarrow attachment. Those are the 3 things I'm interested in. The reel mower, the wheelbarrow, and the sulky. I don't really need the leaf vacuum, the brush, or the chipper or shredder. I don't really need those attachments, but I would be interested in the reel mower, wheelbarrow, and a sulky, specifically a stand-up one if there was ever one made. The sit-down one I may be interested in. We'll see. I did go ahead and order the decals for this on the aftermarket Click It and Stick It website. So this will have the sticker that says Ariens Rotary, and there'll be an Ariens symbol put up on front here. It'll say Ariens, you know, just like on the Sno-Thros. Brilliant, Wisconsin. I did also order 2 of the wheels, the Ariens A logo wheel logos. I may put one up on here. Mine originally didn't have the one where it said Ariens Rotary. It just had the A logo here, and that was about it. So I may put that there too. That may overdress it, so I may hang on to those A logos and put them onto my wheel caps. We'll see. Alright, now I'll show you guys underneath how clean this is underneath the blade. I mean, this thing was in such good condition. Even the blade, look at this blade. I didn't even have to sharpen it. I mean, and this whole thing under here is clean and solid still, and this thing is 50 years old, which makes it an antique. This is how the blade was designed, to have this edge like this special, you know, like, I don't know how you would call it, I guess curved edge, but the blade is still like factory stock sharp, so I didn't even have to go messing with that. And even the bolt holding it on is like super clean. So whoever originally owned this didn't use it that much. I mean, this thing is in really clean condition. So yeah, so that's the story on that. A 1967 Ariens rotary attachment, model 35-10M, for the Ariens 10,000 series Sno-Thro line. The tractor part, the Sno-Thro bucket comes off. This goes on. 26-inch cut, 7 horsepower engine. I had the air filter to put on and take the heater cover off. My 32 wide's powered by a Predator, but that one has much thicker chains. So there'll be a part 2 because it's kind of hard to attach